I am live. Finally. Sorry, folks. Technical difficulties. I was messing around in the YouTube Studio app trying to, I don't know, they've changed some stuff up and I accidentally clicked on do it with an encoder and I don't have one set up. So it wouldn't let me switch it back to just webcam. So I had to just create a new one. But, anyways, we're here now, right? We got 7 of us in here. I hope I didn't screw my self by doing that. Sometimes I've found in the past when I've had to change links like that it kind of screws stuff up and it like hampers the engagement, but we'll see. Anyways, happy Wednesday. How's everybody doing tonight? I'm just solo tonight. I'm burning the candle at both ends. As you can see, this is like me on that's like my full beard, but like I'm working on getting that the newest couch episode out and I've been burning the candle at both ends. So I'm here. I'm ready to go. I need a break from editing, honestly, so it's good to be here with you guys. Let's see. Josh, the stress reminds me of corporate teams meeting. Yeah. Good morning from India. Hey, Vikas, what's up? Hello, hi, everyone from Key West. What's up, Florida? Hi, how are you guys? Stressed from the States. Why are you stressed? Oh, because you're from the States. No, I'm just kidding, but I hope that's not why. Just got off work and this popped up. Driving my truck looking for solo lot lizards. That's terrifying. Did you see Joe made a video of you? Yes, I did. I saw that guy made a video. I can't remember his full channel, Joe Burt or whatever. Somebody pop a link in the chat. Somebody, a guy with a lot of subscribers, if you haven't seen him before, Joe Bart, made a review, react video to my technology video, Where'd All the Serial Killers Go technology video. He's got like 4 million subs, and that video, he just plays my video straight through and just kind of reacts to it as they do. That video's got about 500,000 views already in one day, which is closing in on the amount of views I get for my own actual video. He did tag me in it. I did see a little bit of a kick up from that, but not much. So somebody should pop that. Somebody should pop that in the chat, and then you guys should all go over there and comment that he should give me props. You know, that kind of thing. But yeah, no, it was a good video. So hopefully it does some help for the channel. I mean, it wasn't the first time he'd done something either. I guess just the last time he didn't tag me, so I didn't even notice. But I went through my YouTube Studio copy right stuff. Like he's flagged in there for having taken from my videos before, like, you know, just to react. I don't mind. It's nice when they tag you, you know. It really shows you're a pretty good YouTuber. You just need to get recognition. Well, thank you. Thank you. First time here. Happy to catch a live. Love the videos. Well, welcome, Carmel Lucifer. What's your favorite video? I'd love to hear about it. He did a Dahmer video as well. What do you mean he did a Dahmer video? Like one on what? Sorry, like on just like the show, or a Dahmer video based on one of my Dahmer pieces of content? I made it, Maddie King. She did make it. She's here. Yeah. What's everybody up to on this wonderful Wednesday? Would you do a video about the Academy Maniacs? Well, tell me more about them, Casper. I don't know much about them. Did you ever do a video about Alexander Bychov or Sergei Golkin? Would be cool. Depends. I mean, I you know what? I haven't heard of them. Like a lot of people seem to think, it's fair enough for asking, but a lot of people seem to think I've heard of every single serial killer out there. Of course I haven't, right? When I'm not editing the channel, I don't watch any true crime anymore because I'm constantly editing this stuff. I need time. I need a break, you know? Like I've said before, I need a break from the darkness. I made it. Evil and delicious. What does that mean? Wednesday. To use a green screen in your couch videos? I do now. So originally, I didn't. I used to have. It actually lets me share my screen. I should do that. Show you guys. Make sure. Originally, the couch videos were all shot in a real basement. I've told this story a few times on these, but not in a while, I guess. So I'll tell it again. The original couch content was shot in a real basement. When I decided I wanted to do the channel, I put out a request on my Facebook, actually, just saying like, "Hey, does anybody have access to or own a basement that looks like this?" And I just get this photo of like a retro-y basement, right? And a friend, sort of someone I did some work for, actually said, "Hey, my mother's basement's actually quite a bit like that, and she doesn't even live in the house anymore because they had to move their mom into like a home or something. So the house was sitting empty, and but they were maintaining it, like the siblings were maintaining the home, and it was like an hour and a half away from where I live. But they were like, you could come out and you know, shoot there for a couple of days, and we did. So we drove out there. We took a whole load of gear out there. We stayed overnight, and we shot. We slept in like the beds with our like sleeping bags and crap, and we'd shoot for 2 days straight. And we did that like 3 different times to get like 24 episodes, right? Like we'd shoot 8 episodes, and then I would edit all of those, and then before I was done releasing, we would go back and we would shoot another 8 over the course of a weekend or whatever. We did that 3 times in like 1 year, and the third time, after the third time, the woman got in touch with me and said, "Listen, unfortunately, their mother had passed away, and they were going to sell the home. So they just wanted to let me know that I wouldn't be able to shoot there anymore." So I said, "Hey, is there any chance, like, can we come back and shoot?" After an appropriate amount of time, I asked, "Can we come back and shoot one more time?" I said yes, and I said, "Could I buy the couch?" And they sold me the couch, and then we shot plate shots. So in other words, like we shot all of our episodes, and then we took the couch out. We didn't move the camera. We just took the couch out, and we shot just the plain shot with nothing in it, right? Just like the atmosphere, the wall with the VHS and all that, with no couch there. And then from then on, we've just kind of shot it in a studio with a green screen. I sit on the couch and the green screen, big green screen behind me. And then I key myself out, as they say, and I drop in the plate, which is from the original location, and it looks pretty good. That was a long answer. I'm sorry. I hope it wasn't too boring. I'll get back to the comments here. Why are you not all knowing, Josh? Gosh, yeah, I know. I've wondered that. I'm pretty close. When is the next merch drop? I need to represent the gang. I mean, I'm toying. I'm just trying to get everything organized in the background while I'm editing all this stuff and writing all this stuff. I want to make sure that I have a solid foundation before I just start releasing things, and I'm not prepared for it. So it takes me a little bit longer because I have to put those things secondary to getting the episodes done. So I'm hoping that around 75,000 subs, I want to open up members on YouTube. These streams will maybe become for members only, for example. I hope that's not a big deal for people, but like I want to offer something special to some members, and like early release and things like that. And merch will probably come at 100K. I think 100K is the plan. That's what I want to do, to go back to merch, but I'm doing research on where to get that. Like Eric and I talked about in last week's live, we want to do cool, unusual merch. I don't just want to, not just t-shirts. I'll probably offer a t-shirt as an option, but I want to be able to do cool, kind of like interesting stuff. That's just better than just a t-shirt or some lame pin or something. And I probably have that available, but I'd love to do some other stuff. Let's see. I love the VHS tapes. Thanks. I love I should grab my VHS. I have like a few hundred VHS. So the last time we went to shoot in the house, as I was telling that story, they said that they had sold the house. We said we could shoot one more time. But before we went to shoot, they said, "Listen, our one granddaughter came and took all of the VHS out of there." So like, okay, great. So there was just empty. So I bought a lot, as they call it. I just looked it up on Facebook Marketplace or whatever, and found a lot of VHS, and I went and bought 200 VHS. They're actually really good ones too. Like the person sold me 200 VHS for like, I forget, like $30, but it's like all the Disney classics, which is awesome. It's got like, I got like all kinds of great stuff. Like I don't even know where to begin. Like most of my favorite movies were in there. So it is awesome. And then I used that to populate it the last time. So that's what you see on the green screen is my VHS collection. Do you think there's serial killers in poor and underdeveloped areas where police presence isn't large? Nearby police don't really care, or maybe countries like Sudan or yeah. So here's the thing. I have an episode coming out. So as everybody knows this week, as you guys may be aware, this week I'm going back to the couch. So the couch is coming out with a long episode on the couch on Charles Bronson. And then next week, the week after, I will return to the void. And that episode will be on vulnerable communities. Actually, I'm going to call it "Did Serial Killers Just Change Who They Hunt?" or something like that. And it's about like maybe they didn't stop. They just kind of, if you looked at like Ed Kemper, for example, he's called the co-ed killer, and he was killing like white college girls in California. Huge news every time, right? Same with Bundy, right? The types of victims they were going after. And then they started to change as time went on. And, sex workers, people with addiction problems, homeless, whatever. And that kind of masks the murders in a sense, right? That's what that whole episode is about. Say it a lot more eloquently, because when I write things, I can write things a lot more eloquently than when I just talk off the cuff for the most part, right? But yeah, it should be good. I'm excited to release this week's episode. It's been giving me fits because the couch stuff. Let me just check the chat for a second. Josh, what's your favorite Disney movie? Well, I am of the generation, I believe you are too, Wednesday, of the Disney, what they called the Renaissance, right? So I was fortunate enough to be a little kid when that Renaissance happened, which was started with Little Mermaid. So you had Little Mermaid, followed by Beauty and the Beast, followed by Aladdin, followed by Lion King. That stretch right there, all primo movies. Disney classics, those are mostly my favorites. 101 Dalmatians I've been watching recently, actually, and I really appreciate the art style of that one. It's beautiful. I really want you to do a video about Lisk. Yeah. He's going to be heavily featured in a video that I'm doing. It won't be a making fun of video. It's going to be a one of the more serious tone ones. I'm going to put him into a large portion of it. You should sell some cereal boxes, those ones you have in your videos. Yeah, that I do have those for sale, right? I did. I'm curious to know too, guys. Let me know in the comments. What do you think a fair price for those cereal boxes is? Like, considering the ones that I had made are like very real products. Like they could be in a grocery store and you wouldn't know the difference. Like that's how quality. They're better quality technically than an actual cereal box. So I'm curious what you guys think that's worth, because it costs a lot to have them made. But I mean, it would cost less as I get bigger because I could order more, right, in bulk. But right now I had to order in small doses because I had to pay for it up front and hope and trust that I would sell it, and I wasn't about to commit like thousands and thousands of dollars to do that or something, The couch returns. Who's Charles Bronson again? I think I've heard of him before. He's British and not the actor. There's a lot of people thinking that it's the actor, and I talk about that in the episode. But you'll have to watch the episode on Saturday to find out more. I really hope that the couch can do well. I'm nervous that it won't. I don't think it's going to do as well as the other stuff has been doing. I wish it would. But we'll see. I've got 4 of them that are happening regardless. But I want to see that couch content doing better. So if you like the couch stuff, it's on you guys to help me with it too, right? Because I love making it. So, but I can't just keep throwing them out there and having them like totally bomb, right? Because it's going to start to affect the success of the channel. So if you do like the couch stuff, make sure on Saturday you're in there at 8 o'clock in the morning. Well, you don't have to be there at 8, but you're in there on Saturday commenting and sharing and liking and all that YouTube crap. KRB Zip with the buck. Thank you gave me $1. Thank you. I will get some coffee. But have you heard of Dean Coral? Yes, I have. I talked about him in an episode. I can't remember which one, but he's the Candyman. He's messed up, really messed up. I was an Anastasia girl, but wasn't Disney. Yeah, that isn't Disney. I'm losing my voice. Swing sets ruin lives. You know, I had it. It was great. It was a comment the other day. You guys should see it. It was awesome. Somebody commented like that they were I forget. Like, well, what if I knew so many kids growing up? She said this. The person said that they were born in the '80s, like I think a year before me or something. They were like, I knew like practically every kid that I knew growing up had some sort of injury in the playground. This is the most ridiculous hypothesis ever about swing sets. Look at how many people were hurt and didn't grow up to do anything wrong at all. This is ridiculous. I was just like, yeah, it is ridiculous. That's the point. It's a joke. It's, I guess sometimes my sense of humor is so straight faced and the sarcasm is so, I get so deadpan that some people don't pick up that I'm kidding. I've had that comment a few times on the swing set stuff. Occasionally somebody's gotten mad about it, calling me soft. Next, I'm going to want to ban blah blah blah. Let's see. I'm excited for the cereal boxes. Well, nobody's telling me how much they think is fair. Everyone's just $50. Yeah, I thought so. Like, I think when they initially came out, I was selling them for 40. I think 39. And you know what? Like, would anyone like this? Sounds like I don't want to seem arrogant, but the initial run of boxes, I'm not going to make the same ones again the second time. So maybe I should like sign that initial, like there's only like 20 left or something. Make them kind of like a special edition. Are you Canadian? Yeah. Are you guessing because of the Toronto Blue Jays shirt? Yeah, I'm assuming, or maybe my accent. You tell me. Right now, I'm trying to will the Toronto Blue Jays into signing Kyle Tucker. Sorry, I'm not going to talk more. Don't tell me if it happens in the chat. It's really like a memory from the grocery store back in the day. What's that? Older people are like Fantasia. Yeah, Steamboat Willie. The Void isn't as funny as couch episodes. Yeah, I mean the Void's not comedy for the most part. Like I might make one or two kind of jokes in there, but the couch is like 80-90% kidding around, right? And like the Void is definitely not that. Will you mention modern day serial killers going after Indigenous women in the upcoming Vulnerable Communities video? I talk about, well, I don't want to give too much away, but I talk about the Highway of Tears. And yeah, so basically, yes. I love when a Karen thinks she's right. I love the humor. Are we growing a goatee? We're not. It's just I said I've been burning the candle at both ends and I haven't shaved in a few days or something. So this is like a week of not shaving for me. I can't grow a beard if my life depended on it. Genuinely, if you start making long videos, you could like sell your content to Netflix because your videos are well made and straight facts. Well, thank you. I somehow doubt Netflix would want the breakfast cereal stuff. They don't want to. They wouldn't f with that. There'd be too much pushback. Like the couch stuff, I doubt. I mean, maybe with the newer stuff, but still, I'd make some changes if it was going to be Netflix type content for sure. But thank you. That's a very big compliment. Know your worth. Would you like to do a video about Dennis Nelson? Yorkshire Ripper. He shows up in this week's episode, actually. I think you mean Dennis Nielsen, right? Do posters instead of boxes or an edition. What would you want the posters of? Like, what would go on a poster, do you think? And I thought would be cool. You remember when you'd get those small, like I always got them when we go to my grandparents for some reasons, but like you'd have those mini cereal boxes inside the sleeve. You get a 6-pack of breakfast cereal, small boxes. Yeah. Yes, I wanted to ask you to sign my Dahmer box, but I was scared. You weren't scared Wednesday. Give me a break. Your ability to deliver sarcasm with a straight face makes you an honorary Aussie. Well, thank you. I'm very straight faced. Someday I'll share some of my other content, like my short films and stuff. They're very straight faced comedies. They're not true crime related at all, but yeah. Your cereal box. Oh, snap. Made it for the chat. Just got home from getting some cereal. Right on. So, how good your cereal box looks back when Bruce Jenner was actually Bruce Jenner. Yeah. Hey, Josh and everyone else. Hope all is good. Good here, Monkeyland. How you doing? ABC is airing a special tonight called Dirty Talk about old controversy talk shows. Any thoughts on that topic? Like, what controversial talk shows? Are you talking about like Springer and like Maury Povich, or even more controversial than that? Can't think of any like controversy talk shows. Those gotta be it's gotta be like Springer. We used to watch that every single day after school. Steve and Springer and Maury Povich too, right? The You're Not the Father stuff. Has Magic Spoon ever reached out to you? Not yet. I've been getting some people reaching out now, though, in the from the sponsorship side of things. I don't want to do it until it's actually worth doing. Like I don't want to say poison my content, but I mean, of course, I'm going to do it eventually because that's how you make money in order to be able to do this full time, right? Which is the goal. Randomly found this dude on my lunch break. Now I'm chilling and dude's alive. But yeah, right on. Where you work? What kind of lunch break are you having? Let's see. I love the small boxes in a row option. Yeah, the Wheaties people on the poster. I see. Yeah. So it's like basically like one of the boxes, but just as a poster. Don't read that. Ben Stein. What do you mean? I don't understand. You said don't read it. You can make sketchbooks with the breakfast cereal logo on it. It would be good. Yeah. Play Geraldo. Phil Donahue. No, Phil Donahue's not before me. It is, but like I remember very much my dad watching Phil Donahue. Jenny Jones. There are a few talk shows like that where the precursor to serious crimes like murder. Oh, interesting. Posters of the cereal box graphics and June Cleaver. Yeah. Cleaver's got a... People kept telling me, oh, you got to watch Serial Mom, and I will watch it, but I want June Cleaver. I don't want to... I bet you I would make that movie very differently. That's another thing I want to do with the channel, by the way. You know, like I'm a filmmaker, right? Like before the channel, I would love to get the channel to a spot where we could also make a film for the channel, and we would like take you guys along for the journey, and like maybe we would work on this film somehow together as a community, like gathering ideas and all of these things. And then I would shoot the film, like a full film, or whatever it may be, or maybe it's something episodic and we could release one part every like couple of months for a year or something. That'd be so fun. That's the dream, right? Oh, I can hear you're Canadian. Oot, I can hear you're Canadian. Ooh, where are you from? Ooh, give me a break. I can't actually wait for you to do ads, LOL. Yeah, I mean, you know, at my old job before, when I was working for that massive YouTube channel, I was part of it was selling sponsorships, right? I was the director of content there, and I sold sponsorships all the time for like Raid, Shadow Legends, Manscaped, all those things, right? And I'd have to write them. So I'm well versed in how to do it. Breakfast cereal beanies. Yeah. We call them toques, as you guys know. Hey, friends, see the numbers steady climbing. Congrats. Yeah, thanks. It's slowed over the past month or so, but that's not abnormal for this time of the year. I'm hoping that the next couple of episodes will do well. I don't have don't know what to think about the next couch episode as to how it will do. Anyways, I think it's a great episode personally, but I'm not sure how it'll perform. I'm very curious. I really hope it does well. Red Sox are better than Blue Jays. 2025 would disagree with you. And 2026 is going to disagree with you very strongly. I have been to Fenway Park. It's a nice ballpark, that's for sure. But that's about it. You guys traded away, well, you let Mookie Betts go, and then you traded away Devers. You guys don't know what you're doing. You're a lost franchise. You lost Bregman. Come on. Sorry. Good luck to you. Good luck to you. It's a good movie. Sally Jesse Raphael. Sounds like a Ninja Turtle. That's just because of the Raphael. But like, yeah, I remember Sally Jesse Raphael. Cameraman Eric rocks. Cameraman Eric does rock. That's probably just him. It's probably the cameraman Eric commenting that. The film would be so goated. Is there anywhere online to see your filmmaking projects? Someday I'll share something probably, but like right now I don't really share other things outside of breakfast cereal to the breakfast cereal things, right? My name's all over it, and I keep my name, my privacy and stuff like that for now. I would love if the channel had a show or film. Yeah. The North. I want a spoon. Spoon would be cool. I should do a spoon that has like, remember how you get those, spoon at the back end of the spoon where you hold the handle is like hollow, and then I'll put my own blood in it. That's like back in the day with Rob Zombie concerts, man, and he'd play a hollowed out clear guitar full of lamb's blood. I'm kidding. I love it. Canada's a real country with its own culture and accents and everything. Yeah. That's fine. I know you're just joking. What can we do to help you more? I don't think there's anything that people can do to help me more other than maybe sharing the channel in other areas, you know, like maybe if anybody's big on Reddit, doing stuff on Reddit a lot, like getting breakfast cereal mentioned on Reddit, going over to that Joe video that just came out yesterday. Somebody link it down here for me. Don't make me do it. Go over to that Joe video and comment that, say, hey, breakfast cereal's an awesome channel. You should give him a shout out, because like he used my entire video in his video and didn't really mention me. I mean, he tagged me in the description somewhere, and that's fine. Like, I'm not, but like we could get in there in the comment section and blast my channel up, because it's, his video did 500,000 views in day one, which would put it as the second most viewed video of mine of all time. And he's just playing my video. He's making a few comments, but mainly just misinterpreting graphs. I'm kidding, but yeah. You can create a Discord server. Yeah, a Discord server. Like, I'd really love to, when I get the community going for the channel, like I said, like at 75, I want to open up the community thing. And I want to have a few people that are interested in like being mods and stuff like that, and helping out the channel in that kind of way, right? Like, so maybe KRBZ, maybe that's something that you can help with at some point. I don't know. Like, same with, Wednesday and I don't know, like the people that are Borealis there, like, like kind of pushing some of you guys to the top. In some ways would be cool, like maybe having like a Zoom call soon and stuff like that too, so I can talk to some of you guys and things like that face to face instead of me just talking to a screen, Yeah, Eric's off Eric's, I don't know what he's doing tonight. He sent me some pretty sweet footage last night on something else that he's working on with a pretty cool piece of gear that I was like, "You own that piece of gear? Let's use it." And he's like, "Nah, I'm renting it." But I think he's going to own one maybe soon. Hello from Scotland. All the best. My other writer's in Scotland. Do you know that? My brother lives in Scotland. During your research for the female offenders, did you come across Catherine Knight? No, I did not. You know what I did come across? One thing that came up a lot in the comments on that female serial killers video was what they call baby farmers. And like, I was really like resistant to look it up because I was like, that I know that's going to be effed. But I did. And now it's going to be a video. And I think it's going to be a video that'll do very well. But it's some twisted stuff, man. As you can imagine. I don't share them yet either. I'm not sure. I lost track. In love with your channel ever since I first saw the first video. Thank you for the top tier content. Miss Crittercat, which video did you first see that you liked so much? I'd love to hear. Twins crack. He says swing sets are the big factor in serial killing, from kids falling off them on their heads. Have you talked about CTE and serial killers? Yeah. It's swing sets. Yeah. There's some stuff that I've already done on the channel that I'm thinking I might refresh, even like that. Let's say if the channel is able to grow like tenfold in the next year, I'd love to redo my serial killer swing set PSA thing. Because I feel like that PSA, I don't know, has anybody seen the PSA that I made that no one has seen? It's only got like maybe 1,000 views or something. It's me in like that big white space with like an actual swing set talking about, it's like a fake PSA from like the 90s. It's supposed to be. I even started at change.org and like nobody saw that. So I'm thinking like, and I liked it. It made me laugh a lot. So I'm like, yeah, if the channel gets big, I'll redo it. I'm also thinking of redoing, like, I should redo Ted Bundy. I should redo my Dahmer video now, update it. I've changed in style to an extent. I can look at different areas, right, on couch stuff. Hello, this is my first time seeing you live. Hello, this is my first time responding to one of your comments live. Welcome. What's your favorite video? Let me know. I've been trying to hype your video on all the Wade Wilson stuff I've been seeing. Yeah, thanks, Wednesday. Yeah, you know what? It has ticked up. It's still not like going nuts, but it's in my the YouTube Studio app gives you a list of like your last 48 hours and how many views things have got, and that video keeps creeping up the list now, and it's like a year old, right? So it shouldn't be getting the kinds of views it is right now. So it's good. Can't remember ever seeing Rex Hooverman, despite the fact we made the same commute from the same town for 17 years. Oh, wow, that's crazy. I'll send in my resume. You guys know I have an email address that's on the website, on the channel as well, right? And I'll type it in the chat. You don't need to send me a resume. killer@gmail.com. breakfastserialkiller@gmail.com. Unfortunately, breakfast cereal was already taken. But yeah, you can email me anything. Do you know about Paul John Knowles? No, I knew a guy named Paul Knowles, though, from my small hometown. Does anyone have I hope it's not the same guy. Does anyone have a link to that post? Are you talking about that post of I'll link it. No one linked it. You got to be kidding me. Here, I'll do it. Let me find it. Now I'm going to be boringly typing away. Let's see. It's on this guy's channel. Here it is. Videos. There it is. Share. Yeah, he's catching up. It's his video on my video, which plays my entire video, is going to surpass my original video in views. There's the video. Everybody should go to that video that I just posted in the chat at some point and say, hey, Joe, This is a great video. Thanks for covering breakfast cereal. He's like my favorite channel, and he's so underrated. He should have more views, and you should give him a shout out. I bet he's actually, yeah, he's a nice, seems like a nice guy. Let's see. Ever thought of visiting serial killer locations? I did in one video. There's not many around where I'm from, unfortunately, in Canada, because we don't kill each other at record numbers here. But 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 we do. I would maybe. But I did in one episode where I was like, we were shooting the episode for Paul Bernardo and Carla Homolka. And like I said, that was when we were still shooting in the physical house in the actual location. So we're shooting, and I'm talking about the spot, and it was like an hour and a half away from where I live, where we were shooting. And all of a sudden, cameraman Eric's like, "Yo, I actually think we're pretty close to that lake you just talked about." So we like looked it up, and it was only like 10 minutes down the road. So we drove over to the lake on our way to dinner later that night, and we shot a little segment right there. Whose judicial system is more dysfunctional, Canada or America? I don't know. Have you ever considered going to historical figures with higher body counts, like people like Pol Pot, for example? Be cool to hear you make fun of assholes like that in history videos. And history videos do numbers. Yeah, like all that stuff is on the table in the future for sure. I mean, even this week with the Charles Bronson episode, like I've got like a series coming out almost on anti-heroes, right? Like Charles Bronson's been in prison for 51 years, probably more than that now, and he never killed anyone, right? They're like, he did a small robbery, got away with like 25 pounds at the time in Britain. And then, but ever since he's been in jail, he just keeps extending by like causing riots and getting in fights and blah, blah, blah. He's managed to stick around for 51 years. They don't know what to do with him. The worst thing he's done in prison is basically covered himself in butter head to toe, and then like got naked, covered himself in butter head to toe, and then wrestled guards like a cartoon, like the greased up deaf guy in freaking Family Guy. Like pretty wild story. So there's a lot to look at in that episode. I hope you guys all watch it and check it out. Down with swings. I don't want you to be in a dark place either. I'm not sure what we're referring to there. Oh my God, you should do a video on that one football player whose name escapes me. Yeah, his name escapes me right now too. I was talking to Dr. Rachel Tolles about that. She was in a documentary about that guy. Yes, I love the PSA. Yeah. Should write a parody of Sultans of Swing, but about brain damage. Sultan of SWAT, wasn't that also like the nickname for Babe Ruth? I'm talking baseball again. I discovered your channel recently. Love the amount of work you put into your craft. Gory bits. Thank you. I do put a lot of work into it, and it's a point of pride for me, the channel too, right? Like I spend a lot of time sometimes on things that I don't think anyone other than me will ever notice. And like certain edits, if something's not working right, it really bothers me. I will beat something to death in my edit until I feel good about it. Nice dig. I just commented to give breakfast cereal their due. Thank you. Be nice over there though. Don't say anything mean to the guy about it. We just want to be pretending as if like that breakfast cereal is a sweet channel, and the guy and that I should be bigger, because you know what, I'm not saying I should be bigger, who knows, but like daily we get like probably 5 comments of people like going, oh my God, I can't believe you're not at 100,000 or 1 million subscribers already. So that's been happening daily for like a year, but we're growing. I'm growing, and I think with everybody's support we're going to get there. It seems like you get like you have these kind of things that like the channel's going along like this, it goes up, and then you have a new baseline for a while like this, and then it goes up, and then you have a new baseline for a while. So I think we're on another baseline right now, and I'm waiting for that next boom. And I'm hoping maybe vulnerable people will be that. Who knows? Charles Bronson is a menace. Yeah, that is. First vid I saw of yours was the David Parker Ray one. I'm from New Mexico, and it's, yeah, liminal as fuck out of here. Yeah, I mean, that was a messed up one. We were kind of, we were a little bit like, how do we tackle that one, right? Because like sometimes it can be tricky. I think we did a good job of not being disrespectful or anything like that while still getting the comedy in. Aaron Hernandez, there you go. Canadians must be near the top of the serial killer list. Yeah, I love Charles Bronson. I didn't know about the Bronson one. Someone says, is your door unlocked? Oh, are you talking Michael Moore? All Canadians don't lock their doors. Yeah, our door's locked like all the time. That's such a BS bit of that movie. I mean, there's so much BS though. Like anytime you see anything Canadian kind of mentioned in American movies and stuff like that, I mean, we have the same movies for the most part. Most of the most famous Americans are actually Canadians, right? Like, it's like Justin Bieber, Drake. I guess you guys have Taylor Swift. I mean, but we've got like, you know, Jim Carrey, all the best comedians, all like the biggest actors, Ryan Gosling. But like, yeah, I'm just kidding. But it's every time you see like these when they like How I Met Your Mother used to make fun of Canada all the time because Robin, who actually is Canadian, they would make all these jokes that were like, this doesn't bother me at all, but they were never right. Like they would always rely on the word hoser so much. And it's like, I've never heard the word hoser used for real in my entire life, other than those like David Mackenzie videos from like the 70s. But like, I've never heard hoser used. But who knows? I love Charles Bronson. He's mad. Oh, I already read that one. I didn't know about the Bronson one. That sounds dope. Yeah, it comes out this week, Saturday. As long as I shouldn't be on here right now. I should be continuing my edit. Kramer sunbathing. Yeah. I lost track of where I was. I'm sorry. Oh, man, I got to catch up. Sorry, I'm going to speed up here. It was $42 and some change. Yeah. His real name is Michael Patterson. Yep. Peterson, I think. And he changed his name to Charles Bronson because somebody said that Charles Bronson was tough. That's like, and I say in the video, it's like me changing my name to Steven Spielberg. Kind of lame. You should do a video on the Briley brothers from Richmond. I don't know them. Escaped death row, were caught after 19 days. The movie Bronson is really good. I touched on it in the episode, I think. I might be cutting that part of the episode, but yeah, it's great. My son watches that Joe guy. I left a message. Great. OJ, I would love for you to do a video on composite sketches. You know what? Great idea. I think at one point that was semi in the works. But yeah, it was like, I'm pretty sure I have a script document started on that. It was like pulling up some of the funniest and like trying to guess who they are. I'd love to do that. By the way, book club is underway. I've sat down and put some time into it. And oh man, I was laughing as I was ideating on the page. So it should be good. I would love for you to do a video on composite sketch is good. I really like the Alexander Pichushkin video you did. Most interesting serial killer case in Russia, and probably one of the most interesting of all time. Yeah, Pichushkin is one of my favorite videos, actually. I don't know why I like it so much, but I do. It's a good one. You know what's interesting? Since this boon has happened on the channel a bit, of all the couch content, it has been the ones that it's been nice to kind of see that the ones that I've always kind of felt were like maybe like a slight cut above have been the ones that have kind of done well, because even with the boon of the channel, all that back catalog stuff that I had, like originally those videos only got like 500 to 1,000 views, and now most of them are at like 15,000 or something, most of them. So they're all kind of like, that's, you know, they've more than tripled in 3 months that they did in 3 years of being sitting on the channel. So it's been good to see. But like it's been like most of the ones that I felt really good about that have done well. So you do awesome work. Thanks a million for sharing. Yannick, thank you. You got a favorite? Love to hear it. Are there Canadian crime cases that you personally that I guess you say that I personally think don't get enough attention? Yeah, the Bruce MacArthur one is a big one, and that's in the vulnerable. Sorry, and that's in the vulnerable victims episode that's coming out in 2 weeks, depending. If the couch does really well when I release it on Saturday, I might give it a 2-week run before I release the next episode. If it's like really floundering, I'll probably piggyback it with a void video only a week later. Are there true story? I live in Citrus Heights, California. I used to be down the street from Golden State Killer's house when he was arrested. Oh yeah, that's pretty wild. That's such a wild story. I talk about him in the DNA episode, and like he's always been earmarked for his own episode, but I haven't gotten around to it. My Patriots Super Bowl bound. That's boring though, you know. The Patriots have won enough. It's like, well, I mean, I guess it's been a while, but with baseball, I saw a good comment the other day about the Yankees being I forget what the quote was, but about how they're starting to seem like the person who was cool in high school who's still talking about it like 20 years later, because it's like they haven't won a World Series now since 2009, and that was the first one and since like quite a few years as well, since like 2001 or something. But they won 27 of them. They have the most titles, right? But 27 titles that they have, but the majority of them were like way back in the 60s and 70s. And then they've just been kind of, they've won a decent amount since, but they continually choke in the playoffs. I'll hype your Saturday video. Excited for the couch. Yeah, it's a longer one. So like what I've been struggling with the couch for this episode is, so people have been saying like, oh, we want to see longer content, right? And the couch stuff, I'm not so sure that like, because a lot of them are pretty kind of like high paced, right? Like I use this wild music and I'm like, ah! And I think that works in the 10-minute format. Does that work over 30 minutes? No, I don't think so. I can't be like that the whole time. I think it needs these, you know, there needs to be pacing like any good story, any good film, right? So I'm experimenting a lot with it where there's kind of like longer stretches where it's slower and like just a little bit more storytelling and stuff like that, rather than, I can't just be like one music track to the next, to the next, to the next for 30 minutes. But it's also a new attempt, a new thing for me to do that. So I'm kind of struggling with it, but I think I'm finding the balance now. So Jim Carrey, do Canadians like football? You know what? Unfortunately, I don't. Why do Canadians lock their doors? They have polar bears. Yeah. It's just a joke. Americans say that Canadians leave their doors unlocked. Yeah. I know. It's from the Bowling for Columbine. It's where it really picked up steam. Holy shit, Jim Carrey is Canadian? Yeah, he is. I've only been to Montreal and way too often. I've only been to Montreal myself like once, I think. Do you have any pets? Where do you think that is right there? It's right there. He's a dog. He's laying down. Freddy, look alive, pal. You're on camera. He's asleep. We have OJ, Hand Egg. We have George Carlin, and that's about it. Carlin's great, yeah. You guys have amazing bands, too. Yeah, Nickelback. No. I leave my door unlocked here in Ohio. Puppy. Yeah, there you go. Sup, bruh. Sup, Cosmo. Weakerthans are probably my favorite Canadian band. Their lyrics are incredible. I used to have a Weakerthans t-shirt. There's a lot of good Canadian bands, for sure. Deadwood takes the piss enough about Canadian. Does it? You know, I've never seen Deadwood. Yeah. You're still editing this week's video. Oh, yeah. I'll be editing this week's video this time until Friday night for sure. I'm still trying to get ahead. I've got a bunch that are like partially done, so that I think I have an opportunity to get ahead because I want to be ahead for when I have members so I can release videos to members like a few days, 4 or 5 days early kind of thing. I know all those. You are more American sounding, and I'm from Texas. Yeah, well, the American sounding, like, I don't think, I mean, this is me saying it's, you don't really hear your own accent, but I think my accent's come back a little bit over the last few years, but my accent went away. But I'm also from Ontario, which is, as far as Canadian accents go, it's going to be a lot more, I'm Southern Ontario, so it's going to be a lot less strong than if you go out west or if you go out east. So, yeah, it's more Americanized accent to an extent. And when I lived abroad in overseas for like 4 years, and then in New York City for 4 and a bit years, I was gone from Canada for 8 years. And when I would, I only came home a few times in that 8 years too. And when I would Zoom or something or Skype at the time with my mom, I would hear her accent like really thick. And I'm like, whoa. I think I kind of lost a bit of mine by just not hearing it. And I was only watching, like, American TV and stuff, obviously, and all that. So I think some of my accent went away, and I think it's come back, but I don't think it's always been too strong. Josh, how is your time management? Oh, my time management's good. It just takes a long time to edit these episodes sometimes. I'm looking for other types of content to release eventually too that take a little less time. A couch episode can literally take me almost 2 weeks to make in the edit because of all the stuff that I'm doing with the music and the B-roll and the timing and the blah, blah, blah. Like, yeah, they're long. Sometimes I wish I could just do React videos because they don't take any time, but I would never want to do those. Just turned on bell notifications so I see Bronson and vulnerable community videos. Awesome. Which serial killers you hate the least? Well, I don't know, man. That's a tough one. I hate them all, right? The Hillside Stranglers. Put the sketches on the cereal boxes. LOL. That's pretty funny. The composite one is a good idea. It is a great idea. I just hit 1 million plus views in 3 months on my shorts of my dogs we breed. I have no editing experience. What's a good beginner software to learn? Anything. Any editing software for the most part should just be a timeline and a viewer and another viewer. One where you look at your clip and one that shows you what your timeline is. And that's all you really need, right? Because then all editing is just taking portions of clips and putting them next to each other to build the story that you want to tell, right? There's pacing and there's all that type of thing that works into editing. I've been editing for years and years and years and years and years, right? I've literally been editing for 29 years, which is crazy. Almost 30. It'll be 30 years this year because I started when I was like 10, and that was very 10 or 11, and May 12, and like that was very rare for the times. But there's like Adobe Premiere, there's friggin' Sony, there's Final Cut, iMovie. If you've got a Mac, all those things will help you get your feet wet because all the editors are is just a tool. All the software is just a tool. The real stuff comes, the real beauty of it comes from you, if you will. I have t-shirts ideas for you. Maddie, email them to me. I put my email in the chat, breakfastserialkiller@gmail.com. I'd love to hear the ideas. Also liked your Israel Keys video. And you know what? We should get a Discord server going probably. Don't you think? What do you guys think? I also liked your Israel Keys videos. Another interesting case. Yeah, thank you. The Israel Keys video I liked a lot too. The Juggalo, the ongoing Juggalo jokes were good. I don't know if, I think a lot of people missed that I said when he was he was caught in disguise or something, and then I put Juggalo makeup on him. I photoshopped it. Sometimes I think certain things get missed. Yeah, Maddie, there you go. Email me. And when I say email me, I mean it, guys. Like I don't mean like just. I mean it. Like I want to get these conversations going with people. I want to do that. You know. Comedy is really hard to do long format. Yeah, because it's like by nature the videos are very punchy, but you can't just keep that punchy going. So it's gonna. I think the new video has its moments of like peaks and valleys, right? And it's going to be longer. It's going to be almost 30 minutes. And I don't think I've done many that are more than like 10, 12. So, yeah. There's no way Nickelback is American. Yeah, no, unfortunately, they're Canadian. They played at Piggy Palace, which is effed up. If you've seen my Picton video, the guy who fed people to pigs in British Columbia, he owned like this place called Piggy's Palace Social Good. I forget, it's a crazy name. And he played, Nickelback played there before they were famous, which is pretty crazy. A.T. Dan, I don't know what that means. Use cornflakes as a concept. I made too. Yeah, you know what? I like that too. Like, I've been thinking about cornflakes a lot. Somebody said today, like, I'm out of drinks. Oh no. Somebody said, normally I bring like 3 waters to these and like 4 coffees. Does the dog ever give you orders? That's a Son of Sam reference. Oh my God, my brother's name's Freddie. Will take as long as you need. I want editing to continue to be top tier. Yeah. I'm so happy to hear you're better than that. Wednesday, always, babe. We're gonna be mids, mods, and Discord when shit gets real. There we go. Contact rise during reviews is so lame. Contact. Blade Runner, Taxi Driver, and Jaws. What are we talking about? We talking about like my favorite movies? Blade Runner, Taxi Driver, and Jaws, because those are like my 3 favorite movies. Yes, Discord server. Oh man, I want to see Baby Josh's movies. The very first movie I ever made was called Murder Most Unholy, actually, when I was 12. And long story short, we didn't have an actual video camera. We had a Tyco toy. It was a friend of mine's, and it didn't even have a viewfinder. You had to plug it into a VCR, which was hooked up to a TV, and then you could see on the TV what the camera was showing. And you would record. It didn't even have a way to record on the camera. You just recorded on a VHS in there. So we carted around this little TV and a VCR and this toy, and we had to just like press pause and then go set up our next shot, plus record, and that's how we edited, right? And unfortunately, I don't have a copy of it anymore. I lost it way back, and that's like breaks my heart. Actually, it would be great to see it. Blade Runner is the future. Blade Runner, both of them are a couple of my favorite movies. Like, they're both such a vibe, you know? Girl, my old ass doesn't understand Discord. The toughest channel ever is live. Well, thank you, Geminade. Not sure what makes it tough, but yeah, I appreciate it. Sometimes I lose hope in Canadians. What do you mean? Yes, Discord server. Okay, who knows Discord? Who knows Discord well? I mean, I kind of have used it a bit. I have a Discord handle. You give me hope for Canadians. Victoria, send me the films you've made. I'll look. Whoop whoop. I sent it through Insta to your breakfast cereal account. Okay, there we go. That works. Alcatraz Pam regarding comedy / long format. Brevity is the essence of wit. That sounds like water is the essence of wet from Zoolander. But yes, brevity is the essence of wit. Is there a case that you think has been covered too much? Yeah, like most of them. Like there's so many people who, sorry, I don't want to talk bad about other creators at all. There's so many people that put out videos and it's just the same stuff. It's just like, here's my video about Jeffrey Dahmer. When he was a kid, he looked for roadkill, and he fantasized about a jogger. And then he killed a guy, hitchhiker, Stephen Hicks. It's just like, we all know this. Like, the point of you making a video should be, in my opinion, what do you think about it? Or like, what is your take on it? What is different about your video, your style? What do you have to offer to this conversation that's different, Don't you think? Otherwise, what's the point? I can find that information in a billion places. I've noticed you have a guitar back there. Do you play? Yes, I do. I have several guitars around. This is my Strat, Mexican Strat, actually. I've played guitars longer than I have edited. So I started guitar lessons when I was 5 and took guitar lessons for like 12 years. And I still play guitar. We've been trying to work in some band stuff into some episodes too at some point. I missed a big chunk of the live. Don't really know where the conversation is, but the last video on female serial killers was really interesting. Richard, thank you. Yes, I thought it was very interesting as well. And you know what? The comment section has been great with that video, and it has prompted a lot of ideas for additional episodes that have already in the works. So those comments do mean something. Wednesday Monroe gave me $20 ordered by Fred. Wednesday, you got to stop it. But thank you. I really appreciate the donation. Richard, we are talking about Josh's first short film. Yeah, just guess what are we talking about? Like Murder Most Unholy. My short film is in small horror festivals right now. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Congratulations. To get in the festivals is pretty cool. I'm pretty familiar with Discord. All right. We got a few. We got Alcatraz Pam. We got Victoria Borealis with Discord business. I notice a lot of channels end up posting about the same crimes or criminals. Yeah. Time to shred. There we go. That's awesome. I'm calling you Victa from here on out. Show us the axe. Do you enjoy writing scripts or editing more? I enjoy every aspect of film and video making almost equally. Editing, for some reason, is still like there's an expression for filmmaking too, where it says that you write one movie. I know these aren't movies, but like you write one movie, you shoot a different movie, you edit a different movie. So it's like each stage in there, things change is what that means. And that's very true. So writing, I find these depends. When I'm in a good flow with writing, I really like it because it comes very easy. I do a lot of, especially for like if you look at the Wade Wilson video or the Israel Keys video, that's just me vomit passing, as I call it. I just don't stop. And then most of it made it into the episode. That's fun. And editing is like, to me, is a special spot because it's just like so much creativity comes out in the edit, I think, that wasn't on the page at all. And that's where the video really comes to life. So I think that's my favorite, really. Wednesday is chair of the board. She is. Wednesday, I already talked. Well, I don't want to give it away, but I don't want to put her on the spot. But I've talked to Wednesday a few times about being something for this channel eventually when the time comes. And, because she's been around, Wednesday's been around since like day, I don't know, pretty early on. I think actually, this is early on when I was posting on Instagram. I was following that chapter over there, and he shared a post of hers in his stories because she had like taken a picture of watching one of his posts or something, and I would just go and follow people that he shared stuff up because I was like, that maybe they'll like my stuff. If they see that I follow, maybe they'll check out my stuff. And I followed Wednesday because of that. I followed her, not the other way around. I'm pretty sure Wednesday. And then she followed me back and then started to like my stuff, I guess. I hope. Fam, hit the like button. Yeah, that's true. We should be hitting that like button. I should give myself some likes. Oh, I already did. Heading to bed. Let me know when there's Discord and I'll share my ideas there. Thanks, Maddie. Good night. What time is it? 10:10 already. Holy Moses. I think we'll go to 10:30 tonight. So another 20 minutes. Hour and a half. Feels good. What do you guys think? Who is your celebrity crush? Depends on the decade. That's changed over time. It was funny when I was a bit younger and not with my beard that people would say that my celebrity lookalike was Natalie Imbruglia from the Torn video. And it was true. That's a great representation of the truth about filmmaking, especially small budget. Yeah, I've made quite a bit of stuff over the years, right? And I've funded a lot of it myself. I've had grants. I've been through the festival circuit a bunch and stuff like that. It's always interesting to see where you start and where you end up. Editing is the best. It's time consuming as hell, but it's beyond rewarding to actually watch it come together in motion, in my opinion, especially once you get music to it. Yeah, big time. Music changes everything. I remember in film class when I was young, the teacher gave us an example where it was a scene from The Good, Bad, and the Ugly when they're leading a man off to be hanged. And they she played Rob Zombie, More Human Than Human, behind it. And while they're leading the man away, she's like, get him, kill him, kill him, kill him. And then she played us the same scene with like sad piano music and everyone feels bad for the guy. Right? It's just like music dictates your emotions so much. You're not even really aware. Like sometimes how, like, you don't even have to make good content. Just put the right track there and people will be fooled into thinking it's good because it has like look at Instagram Reels all the time. People, and then just watch the thing and you'll feel an emotion and then go back and watch it again and turn off the music. It's nothing, Great example is when that's not a great example. Never mind. Just kidding about Bonnie. Bonnie Blue. Do you feel true crime folk treat the intersection of mental unwellness fairly and appropriately? I think that no, and yes and no. It's a tough question. It's a good question. I think people are having to reevaluate, even some of my early stuff. Like I did an Albert Fish episode where we were talking about the mental health issues in his like way back family, and the B-roll clips were from like some sort of ancient freak show footage. And in hindsight, that was a bad move on my behalf to use that clip, maybe, right? Like, but I think it's a tough question. Mental health is like such a rampant issue in all these serial killers, really. I mean, how can you look at Dahmer and not say that all those things are as a result of like severe mental health issues? Obviously, right? It's not an excuse, but I mean, it does offer insight into how people are able to behave certain ways, I think, and I think there needs to be an episode of Where All the Serial Killers Go where we talk about mental health and the focus on that from a younger age and the somewhat lifting of the stigmatization around it, especially from the 70s and 80s where that peak was. Even in the 90s, it was still kind of like, ooh, and with more focus on that, that is probably definitely contributed to the decline that we saw in the 90s and 2000s. Almost guaranteed, you know? It's a good question, though. Who is your favorite fictional murderer? That's a good question, but I don't know. I just finished Dexter Resurrection. I haven't seen it yet. I have to get around to watching that. Love the videos. Watch, listen to almost your entire library driving cross country. Wow, thank you, Clayton. Driving across the USA or Canada, or which country you live in. But yeah, that's awesome. It's barely 8 here. You're 2 hours behind me. White Zombie was my first concert in '94. Right on. I feel like I'd love to see you play. Someday I'll work it in. We've been working on this whole like Jesse and the Rippers idea. You know what? Composers are always something that everyone's after, but like it's hard on the time constraints to like have a piece of music composed for one of these types of episodes, really. I mean, that's the dream, but for shorts and stuff, big time. Yeah, but the book Wednesday says, yeah, I'll do the book club thing, even though I hate reading. Don't worry, the book club has nothing to do with reading. It's my idea. There's no reading. It's gonna be great. You guys are gonna like it, I think. I would love for this channel to become more psychological and talk about that kind of stuff more. That's what I like about the Void videos, I think. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, that's the point of the Void videos for the most part, right? Like, I don't have any answers like most of the time, right? Because I'm not an expert, but like I do have a lot of questions, as I like to say, and like it's just about like I like to just beat up questions, like, oh, I wonder about this, and like I feel like sometimes I wonder about a lot of things that a lot of people wonder about, but we don't really talk about. So it's just like, well, let's wonder about them out loud, and I might not have an answer, but I might say this, and then go in the comments and see what people think. You know, like that's kind of the point. I appreciate your answer. The mention of the Hillside Stranglers is what made me think of it. The damage from them attempting to fake did set the stigma back another 20 years. A lot of people ask, like, favorite serial killers, but do you have one particular that you despise most of all? Yeah, BTK. I think the question, like you say, you put it in quotes there, favorite. I've talked about that a bunch. I think that's people actually saying, who do you find? Is there somebody you find most interesting? Because, like I said in the Murderabilia episode, you can be interested. It doesn't mean you're celebrating it, right? And I find BTK to be that guy. I can't stand the crimes of him. I don't know why. I do know why, but like, just the worst. And then being the double life thing, right? That's why I'm working on this script, another script. I've got like 20 scripts that are like started, right? And I just go back to each of them from time to time when I feel inspired. But another one is on like the scariest kind of serial killer, type of serial killer to me. And that to me is the guy with the double. Hey, Freddie, it's the guy with the double life. Here, look. It's the guy with the double life. It's the guy who, like BTK, like by all accounts, he was like a good dad for the most part. His daughter referred to him as her best friend. You know, how can you live with a family, have a family like that for all these years, a wife for all that time, and they don't know? It's terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying, that ability to compartmentalize. It's terrifying. And like, and then to be able to do what he did, yeah, it's despicable and terrifying. And so that's where Rex Hooverman will come into that video too, because he kind of fits into that category for me. I've been leaving the channel on for my four bullies when I'm not around. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, do that, everybody. Leave it on for your pets. Let it play. When you did that Jesse and the Rippers thing, I laughed so hard. Yeah, the Jesse and the Rippers thing, we were talking about doing an episode where we try to learn the songs of Charles Manson, but then decide that his songs suck, and then start talking about the connection to John Stamos, and then from there decide to play the Jesse and the Rippers Beach Boys Forever song and recreate the music video from Full House, along with Chill Fortnite vibes. That'll be the whole episode. People will be so annoyed. But I'm going to do all that stuff when I get bigger. Can you tell me what you're listening to right now? I'm all over the place. So I listen to anything tonight specifically. I actually listened to the album Joni Mitchell Blue. And what else? I got a couple of records for Christmas, actually. So I purchased for my wife, I got the deluxe edition of Melancholy Infinite Sadness by the Pumpkins, and it's like an awesome deluxe box set. So we've been checking that out. I got Jimmy Eat World Bleed American, one of my favorites. I actually didn't listen to a lot of that when I was younger, but I actually quite liked Jimmy Eat World. Say what you will. Zodiac, best movie. Look at that puppy. He's 8 years old. I've been listening to a decent amount of jazz, I guess, like Miles Davis. I listened to a decent amount of Chet Baker recently. Love Supreme, Duke Ellington. Are we human beings having a spiritual experience, or spiritual beings having a human experience? Oof, Alcatraz Pam, go watch my video on God. Christian God, give it whatever, but have you seen that one? Curious. I talk about my own personal beliefs and faith and all that in that video. Didn't do very well. I think it's like one of my very best videos, especially the ending. I think the ending is like the best ending I've ever done. I don't think anyone saw it. Can you set up home security systems like Dennis Rader? Guys like BTK and their deception leave such enormous damage. Yeah. Denial is sometimes the most insidious monster. Yeah. My parents used to play Rush. I love Chill Fortnite vibes. He's so relatable to me. That would be great. Yeah. Do you play any video games? I do. Not really. Not good video games. Eric makes fun of me, cameraman Eric, because I play MLB The Show all the time. I just bought myself a PlayStation 5 like not that long ago. But I really like kind of lame games, I guess, like the Drake's Uncharted games. I'm not into like really intense games. I like adventure type things. Gotta head out. See you on Saturday. Okay, see you, Victoria. Oh my God, I got released on my birthday. Oh yeah. Melancholy Infinite Sadness. Yeah, it's a great album. Thank you so much, Wednesday. It's always better know you're here, and now I'll remember your username too, Victoria. I see. Alcatraz Pam. Good question. Human beings are spiritual. Right on. Gonna see you next month. Maybe my favorite religion episode. I mean, yeah, the religion episode's great. Rush. See, I can't stand Rush. Sorry, I know I'm Canadian. And Geddy Lee's always sitting front row at the Jays games, but I can't stand Geddy Lee's voice. I'm in that camp, you know. Speaking of setting up security systems, do you think the advancement of background checks puts a dent in modern serial killers? How so? I don't know. I think I'm blocked from chat, Josh. No, you're not. You just put in a thing right there. Nobody's blocked from chat. We got 5 minutes. Smoke them if you got them, folks. What do you guys want to know? Let's trying to think if there's anything interesting. I'm getting tired tonight. Uncomfortable. That's the wife. Oh, Robin's saying. Oh, sorry. I love Trent Reznor. Have fun. Yeah. 9 Inch Nails. They were pretty amazing. I have not looked into Grand Auto. I hope you do more live streaming. I do them every Wednesday because Wednesday night's just my night to kind of chill. Toronto, peace. What about Toronto? I'm checking in right now just to make sure that there's no news on the Kyle Tucker signing in the major leagues, and there isn't. What unsolved crime intrigues you the most? It doesn't have to be serial murder either, just unsolved. Bigfoot. I want to do an episode on Bigfoot. I gotta figure it out. Would endorse a cornflakes Spotify playlist. There you go. Who are your biggest filmmaking influences and inspirations? So I'm a Spielberg fan. I've always loved, like, especially that run he had in the 80s and early 90s. Yeah, I don't know. Like I've said, like my favorite movies are probably Jaws. I know they're pretty cliche. Jaws, Blade Runner, Taxi Driver. I'm a huge fan of the Alien franchise. I've been listening to Alien audiobooks, like in that universe, like every night for the last like year practically as I fall asleep. Just curious, what part of Canada are you from? I'm Ontario. Toronto, GTA. I've been chatting all night and still can't see myself. Oh, I don't know. You must have got yourself. I can't see you either, man. But you must have gotten yourself. You must have gotten yourself blocked. I'll have to check on my end somehow, but I don't know. I don't think I have. I definitely haven't done anything. I don't think the channel blocks somebody. I think you could have got your own account restricted probably somehow. We see you uncomfortable wife. Yeah, uncomfortable wife is I'll make you uncomfortable's wife. And I think I'll make you uncomfortable is now on his wife's account trying to say he can't be seen. How do they go about studying the minds of serial killers once they're caught? Or do they just give most the needle? Now they do. I mean, like watch Mindhunter, right? It started back then where they fought through fighting. I've been rewatching that first season again. They had to fight to get the opportunity or to get people higher up on board with this idea that like there's something to be learned from convicted and captured serial killers by speaking to them, talking to them about their impulses and their instincts and their MO and all of that, right? Like maybe they could learn by talking to these killers and be able to create profiles essentially, right? That's what they were doing. They're profiling to hopefully be able to spot it in other people and be able to solve other crimes or hopefully eventually be able to prevent it, right? So they definitely study it through that type of thing. They're not like studying the actual brains because there's not much to learn from that, I don't really think. I mean, They've looked at like certain serial killers' brains. I think they wanted to with Dahmer's, but they didn't. But they've looked at other people's brains, and they don't really see much difference. Like your favorite song by Metallica. I'm not a huge Metallica fan. It'd be hard to say. I have a soft spot. You're gonna hate the answer, but I have a soft spot for the Unforgiven 2. And that's just because my sister, for some reason, had it on a mixtape when I was a kid. And I remember hearing that song. I've always liked their cover too of Turn the Page is good. Master of Puppets is good. I just know like the big ones for the most part. Disclosure looks good. It does look good. Jaws was the movie that made me fall in love with movies. That's awesome. He's an hour from me, Ash. CC the third. If you don't mind, tell me where you're from. I'm not going to say where I'm from. But where are you from? Was the religion video you were talking about the Dahmer God one? Yes, it was. And it was like, it's not just about Dahmer. It's about, it's about redemption, the entire video, and what does forgiveness mean, and because there's this trend almost of you'll see like these terrible people get convicted of these heinous crimes, and then behind bars all of a sudden they happen to find God. Oh, I'm changed, I found God. And what does that mean? And what is grace? And that's what the video is about, right? Like I think it's pretty heavy stuff. But I found it to be a very interesting topic based on I grew up fairly, like my parents were great, amazing. Like they were never judgmental or like pushy about anything, but they have their own beliefs and faith. That's for sure. My dad was a minister and stuff like that. Right. So that's why I know so much in that video. I grew up with it. Right. But I think it's very interesting. Alien Earth, I'm in the middle of. I'm like on episode 5 or 6 right now, and I'm loving it actually so far. It's really good. Blade Runner is absolutely favorite. Alien is my favorite sci-fi franchise. The Dark Horse comics are so good. I've been collecting comics. Check this out. Again. Over the last while. I'm a Spider-Man comics guy though, and I've been making my way through. I've collected the entire run of 300 Amazing Spider-Man number 300 through 400. I'm only about 10 comics shy of having that whole run. It's been fun. I'm going to keep going. Sneak preview and info on future vids. Here, let's try something here for a second. I'll give you guys a little. See if it'll let me do it. Let's see. I don't think I can yet because yeah. Next I'll make sure that I have it enabled for the next chat screen sharing so I can show you guys the edit. But yeah, that's what's upcoming next is like I said, the Charles Bronson couch episode, followed by some stuff on vulnerable victims. I've got a video on the history of true crime, which goes all the way back to the Roman times. And then I've got also a video on whether or not true crime teaches people how to get away with murder, which is interesting to think about, right? What do you think? Mindhunter is one of the best pieces of filmmaking about serial killers. Yeah. You know why? It's because it's by David Fincher. David Fincher also did Zodiac, right? There you go. Pittsburgh. Oh, I was talking about the grave robber that's in the news. Oh, I see. Pittsburgh's not far from me either, actually, really. I keep meaning to go to Pittsburgh to check out I forget the name of the park, PNC Park. The notion that they might find religion just out of boredom is honestly really interesting. Yeah, and I mean, is it finding anything in that matter, or is it just basically like just something to break up the monotony, right? Like, I don't know. There's a lot to think about in that whole realm of the serial killers finding God. If you ask me, a lot of stuff to talk about. What did I miss? Lavina, I don't know what you missed. You missed everything. I'm so ready for the TD comics. What are the TD comics? Oh, True Detective. The True Detective books. So I don't know, like I'm struggling a little bit because let me show you guys some of these True Detective things I've got. Here's an example. The Fickle Homo and his children. But they're mostly a lot of text. Right? So I'm not sure how interesting that'll be as a top-down video, unless I can find, I'm going to have to figure out something else to talk about while flipping through them. Because there's not enough graphical stuff for me to make too many comments on, unless there's this. If you're into fitness, Bulwarker puts it all together in only 5 minutes a day. 5 minutes. You're gonna get ripped doing 5-minute workouts. Yeah, I kind of doubt it. But I still think it's worth a shot. So I think I'm gonna shoot the videos and then see, because I'm not scripting them. That's the thing. Eric and I are just gonna set up a new look for them and then shoot them. Fingers crossed. Disrespectful beyond belief. Ashley, what are we talking about? What's disrespectful beyond belief? Such a stupid young guy, CCC. What are you talking about? I'm falling behind. Oh, yeah, fingers crossed, disrespectful beyond belief. Yes, I do think true crimes help people get away with murder. Cop shows helped Ed Kemper. Why couldn't true crime help future or current offenders? Certainly aided Israel Keys. Well, we'll talk about it in the episode. It's going to be a long one. Fincher also did do Seven, yes, but it's not real serious. It's not based on a real true case, right? But yeah, Seven's a freaking awesome movie. I laid the block at PNC Park. Yeah, really cool. There's a borf in the background. Is that talking about the dog? Remember Garbage Pail Kids? Yo, Garbage Pail Kids? Yeah, of course. I feel like I wasn't allowed to watch Garbage Pail Kids. I think a lot of kids weren't, right? I'm watching the show Deadbeat. So funny. DeVito's daughter's in it. I feel like I've seen part of that too. The Grave Digger. I see. Maybe talk about killers that were influenced somehow by them. Yeah. I think that's part of it, right? Like talking about the killers that were inspired by the comics as I flip through them, or not the comics, by the magazines, right? BTK was one. I'll have to do some more research probably to get the stories. But I want to be able to just free talk, so I don't want to script it. I guess I could. Some of it. I got to think it through. The point is to make it really easy, well, not easy content, but like another type of content that I can release that's longer format, but a little less of a heavy lift in the edit. And the edit as the B-roll would be the magazine. This guy sees ghosts. Maybe we talk about killers that were influenced. Yeah. The Chauvin. There's a very old comic called True Detective before the Comics Code Authority came around that has some outlandish stuff and was really controversial. I think it was EC Comics. Yeah, I've heard of that too. I had serial killer trading cards back in the day. That's crazy. Super interesting, honestly. I would love to create a cartoon on one of the stories, hand drawn and everything. I went to school for animation, but the old style is almost dead. By the light of a burning donkey. You should email me or message me. I'm looking for an animator. I want to do some collaborations on a couple of ideas. It'd be paid, but message me, email me, breakfastserialkiller@gmail.com. Do it. And let's just get the conversation going and see how we can get some animation going. Because there's often times in some episodes where I'm like, man, I don't really have B-roll of what I'm talking about, but I would love to have like my own animator to do like a little small section here, you know? Even in this Bronson episode, I'm talking about him greasing himself up in butter, and there's no footage of him greasing butter, obviously, so I had to get creative. I photoshopped butter onto him in one thing, but like I would love to be able to work with somebody on stuff like that. Yeah, you asked me about this macabre song. Unfortunately, I'm not a fan. That's okay though. I mean, I understand why people are. It's just not my style. I don't have a favorite. I follow them because I do want to connect with them at some point, probably. Like I don't know, maybe not. But I followed them because people told me to. And I checked it out, and I didn't really like it too much. I just don't see a time where I would be putting it on. That's all. It's just not in my wheelhouse anymore. I used to be into metal a lot, but I'm not at all anymore. On occasion, I put some on at the gym. Yeah, yeah. The graphics could be cool. What are your thoughts on bone collectors? This guy's a collector. Oh, that's Kiss the Girl. Sorry. Do you think you could solve a case? Probably not. I would love you to talk someone like Joseph Scott Morgan. I'm reaching out to a few people right now for new Guess Who episodes that we want to shoot in April. I'm trying to get them lined up. I'm going to have to actually bring them in, fly them in. It's going to cost money, but hopefully it'll be worth it. Music wise, I highly recommend Dexter and the Moon Racks. Oh, yeah? Hey, my guy makes music about serial killers because I listen to a shitload of true crime around him, but you wouldn't like it. Oh, I see. Your guy. Yep. All right, folks. 3 minutes. I went a little longer. As I like to say, smoke them if you got them. Maybe next week I'll bring a guest. Like I'll do another, like I used to do. I'll try to find a guest in the next week. It just depends on how much longer it's going to take me to edit tomorrow. Shamelessly plugging for an Aussie dream guest. I can't fly anybody from Australia. That costs too much. I can fly somebody from America, maybe. Oh yeah, you can get a flight LA to Toronto for $300, $350. Australia, it's like $2,000. Yeah, the roof escapades. I got that in the episode about Bronson, of course. Zoom is a thing, Josh. I don't want to use Zoom for episodes on my channel. Like, I'm too much of a film type guy to want to have like bad Zoom stuff. I'll use Zoom stuff for like a live. Like when I'm doing a live like this, it's one thing. But for an episode on the channel, like I don't think I ever want to do that. I've thought about it, but I'm just too much of a snob, I guess. It would also hamstring me a bit on how I edit, I think. Would you like to make a video about that girl who hated Mondays? Yeah, what was that again? Somebody was telling me about this. Oh yeah, the person. Love to you, Eric, and the other cornflakes. Eric with a K, folks. He'll lose his mind. Okay, everybody. Special shout out to Wednesday again. Thank you for the $20 Wednesday. I met over 50 murderers. Serial killers, a bit more sneaky to admit it. That's a wild statement to end on, folks. Okay, folks, we will take care, everybody. We're going to end it on a high note. And make sure you're around on Saturday for the Charles Bronson episode. Make sure you like and share and go over to that video on that Joe Guy's page on YouTube and say, hey, you should give breakfast cereal his dues, man. That guy's breakfast cereal is awesome and he doesn't get enough credit. Good night, folks. Take care.